Fabulous. All right. Well, let's move through to our cool online tools for tonight. And I have to say, I am a subscriber to a number of AI newsletters and publications, and I get hundreds of apps and tools across my desk or across my inbox every week. And it really is a process of whittling them down to some that I think that might be useful for you in business. So at the end of it, I'm going to ask you which one is the one that stood out for you. And these apps and tools, we'll drop these into the chat so that at the end of the evening, you can save the chat and you'll be able to click through to each of the apps and explore them at your leisure. So very first one is Flyer GT. And this one is an image and video generation platform. The reason why I've included it, one is it does images and video, and you can create, scenes, videos, images from a text-based prompt. But the thing that's interesting about this one is it uses a number of models. So it's not a model in its own right. It does connect through to other large language models. So you can choose the one that you want. So it's actually free to try. So if I can find, let's have a look. I'm actually logged into it. Oh yeah, I'm logged into it. So all you do is you can either start creating an image for free or you can start creating a video for free. So let's say, for instance, we click create a video, and you'll notice that at the top there, it's got a drop down with a whole range of video models that you can use. It probably doesn't make much sense to you which one of these, which one does what, but you can try them out and find out which one is, gives you the video that is best for your purposes. So really all you're doing is you are dropping a prompt. So you're just describing, a prompt is describing what it is you want to generate into this small box here. So let's say an exciting group of people participating in a webinar on Zoom about AI in business. So, and let's say we want it to be, this is a cinematographic. All right, maybe I can't spell that. So luckily we've got a spell checker here. Movie style. So that's all it is. You've got a duration there. You've got sort of 6 seconds or 10 seconds. Now, if you do have a video that you want to use as a reference video or an image that you want to use as a reference image, you can upload that so it gets an idea of what you're after. And then you hit the generate, and then it'll go off and generate. In this case, it's going to be a video. Now, it will take a wee while to do that, and you can regenerate them. You can adjust your prompts so that you get exactly what you want. Often it is about the prompt. The more specific you are with your prompt, the better it is. This particular prompt allows you up to 1,000 characters, and I've just used 122 characters. So there is room there to create more. If you want some help with prompts for things like this, then you can jump into another language model like ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini. Tell it what you're doing and ask it to give you a prompt, and then you can go and paste that prompt into here. So that makes it easy for you to get a prompt there that's more likely to generate the sort of video or image that you want. So yes, you're using a number of AI tools together in order to get the output that you want. I'll leave that one running and see whether it finishes by the time we finish these online tools. All right, that next one is, this one's actually really quite interesting. This is an AI agent. I have started playing with this one this week. And what it does is it creates workflows for you using the tools that you use every day and connects those tools together. So if, for instance, you are doing something like transferring people's details from an email. So let's say something, you get clients that send you, or prospects that send you an email. You want to get them into your CRM, and then you want to send them a message from your CRM. You can do the work all manually, record it with the AI agent, and it will see what you're doing, and then it will build an agent for you that will then automatically go and do that for you. Now you do need to, let's see if I'm signed into it. You do need to add in your tools that you're using. There is AI that it uses to help do that, and you'll notice that this one here, it is using Claude as the AI. It also uses Gemini. There's a range of other agents that it uses as well, and you can add your own ones in there as well. But this one here is really your AI employee, so it will do things for you. So even if it's things like creating social media posts and scheduling it in a scheduling tool, then you can get it to do all of that. It will create the post in, say, something like Claude, and then run through the process to then go and post it on your social media sites and store it in, let's say, Google Drive or Notion, if you're storing the posts in there as a record of your posts. It will do things like analytics. So if you're wondering, which posts of yours are performing the best, and there's a process you go through for that. Maybe it's logging into Facebook, going to the dashboard in Facebook to check out the statistics, putting the statistics into a spreadsheet. This agent here will do all that. So it'll do the things that you are doing manually, and it automates the whole process. So best way to really get some ideas. Sometimes it's hard to think of ideas about how you would use it in your business or what are good use cases in your business. But if you jump into, on the left-hand side, if you jump into the guides or the community, there's some really good ideas in there about how people are using these AI agents. So I would say that's probably the first place to jump into, because it'll start to trigger some ideas about how you could use it in your business. Sometimes we get lost in the day-to-day of what we do, and we don't really sort of think about the tasks that we're doing. It's only when we take a step back that we see, all of these things that we're doing that could be automated with an AI agent like this. So an AI agent's a little bit different to, your AI tools like, let's say, ChatGPT or Claude, where you're, asking it questions and getting responses out of it. This one actually does things. So it is like an employee that actually does tasks for you. So you train it to do it and connect it to your applications to do it. So I'm just in the free plan at the moment. There is an upgrade. You can subscribe to it. This one is not cheap on the premium plan. It's $80 US a month on this. But the rationale with something like this is that if you've got paying $80 a month for an employee is a lot cheaper than paying a person to do exactly the same role, or taking your time when you can be using your time on your sort of $200, $300, $400, $500 an hour jobs. So really is it looks expensive, but it is if you're thinking about employing someone or you're thinking about your time, then it can be a real cost saver. But the thing I'd say with that is, think about the tasks that you're doing manually and what how it could save you that time, and where you could use that saving there to increase your productivity. So that one there is called AutoHive.com. All right, next one is, this one is a no coding app. So if you want an app for, let's say, the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, and you've got no idea about code, this one here is a drag and drop builder for you to build an app. So it does have a lot of AI functionality inside it. You do download it to your computer. So it's available on Mac and Windows, and it's an app that sits on your computer for you to then develop an app for for your business. So it might be an app for maybe you run courses or programs that you want people to access via their phone. Maybe it's community. It could be something where you're developing a community on something like that. You can definitely do something like that. A directory that people have got on their phones. All sorts of uses you can do with this one here. But it is a no-code app that has got AI in it to help you to build it. So the AI does the coding in the back end for you. All right, PhotoFuse.
We sure found out about that one 2 years ago, Nick.
Yes, yes, I know,
That
Tim.
app building
It
one.
would
Oh
have
my
helpful.
gosh, they're not cheap.
Oh, look, developing apps can be expensive, as you probably well know. So, but you know, it's getting cheaper and cheaper with some of these apps and tools. And in all likelihood, in fact, I know that there are app developers out there that use tools like this to build the apps. But you know, they're billing their clients the same price that they would be billing, you know, in terms of the cost that you probably paid for your app as well too.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
at least if you get in there and have a play with it, you know what's possible.
Yeah. No, I love it. Thanks.
All right, this is quite a laugh. This is PhotoFuse. So headshots. So we all need headshots for things like LinkedIn and you know, our social media profiles, and for you know, various things around the web. If you appear on, you know, webinars or, you know, podcasts, then, you know, often you're asked to supply a headshot. So let me sign into this. So you can create your own headshots, and you can train this machine here by uploading a whole lot of photos of you, which I did this week. None of those are me. So let me have a look and see what I've got. All right. So you jump in here, you create a character, and you create this character by uploading a number of images for you. So generally they're headshot images, you know, chest to head. And this image that you see is not me. This is an AI rendering of me. I have to say, I don't think it's particularly flattering, but anyway, it is a rendition of me. And I think what happens with this is the more photos you upload, the better the likeness gets to you. So I have published. What have I done with it? I've got a character. Where's it gone? There it is. All right. There we go. All right, so these are some headshots that it has come up with me. I have to say, some of them have made me look quite old, so I won't be using those shots. But the process of training this machine is those that you like. Yeah, you put a little heart on it to show that yes, these are ones that you're happy with, or are close to what you like. And by doing that, it is also training the machine as well too. Now, down the left-hand side, you've got a range of options with this. You've got things like your expression. So you can sort of choose an expression. So if you choose smiling, for instance, what angle do you want? Do you want sort of a head on, side on, or you know, at an angle? You've got a focus. You know, do you want it blurry in the background, or you know, a different sort of style? You can choose backgrounds. You can either have a colored background, or you can choose a you know, a sea, a lake, or whatever in the background. You can even choose your hairstyle. So you know, if you want a ponytail, let's see what I look like with a ponytail, and you can also click to choose, you know, other clothing and accessories. Don't think I'll go for a bikini today, but I will go with,
Can't do a
let's
bikini.
say,
Do a bikini.
here we go.
We
I
want
knew
our money's
someone would
worth,
say
Nick.
that. All right, let's have a look. Yeah, I've got a crop top. How about that? Let's go for it. We'll select a color as well. There we go. And let's put some accessories on. And we'll go with some sunglasses. And yeah, that'll do, I think. This is going to get a bit ridiculous, isn't it? All right, and then you can, yeah, you can give it some more instructions if you like, but then you can just hit the generate, and it will then go ahead and generate your images. Now, have I got enough credits for this? Let me just do 2 photos. I've got 40 credits left. That's going to take me. I need to select a character. Let me just grab that. I thought I had. There we go. Select the character. Right. Okay, we'll go and generate the image. Okay, so now it's going to go through and generate that image. Let's just head back to that earlier one, see whether that image is finished now. Oh, that one's still generated. There we go. So there's an image there that it's generated. One of the things with, or this is a video. So if we click play, so this is the one that's generated a video. One of the weird things about AI is that if there's text on the screen, it never can quite get the spelling right. So you really want to avoid having any sort of text on the image. So there you go. There's a video generator. Not particularly exciting, but it just gives you some sort of concept about the video generator. So this one does video and images. That was Fly AGT. All right, let's have a look at PhotoFuse. There we go. So we've got that apparently is what I look like with sunglasses and a and a halter top. Looking good, aren't I? Pretty attractive. So yes, if you do want to sort of identify as someone who is not you, then you can do that as well too. Anyway, so have a play around with that there, and you know, it might take a while to get some headshots that are really good. Out of this, I think there's probably 2 or 3 that came through that I thought were pretty reasonable. But you know, the more you train it, the better it gets. So I think that one there is probably okay. All right. The last one I got is a book. This one is actually by a Gold Coast author, Dan Norris. If anyone has drunk any beer from the Black Hops Brewery, he was the founder or one of the founders of Black Hops Brewery. He's written a number of books. This one is particularly good. It is about marketing, and it's got some great concepts in there about, you know, and this is from an entrepreneurial perspective, that marketing is not about trying one strategy and then if that doesn't work, trying another strategy. It's about layering strategies on top of each other. So really good book to read. And if you're wondering why your marketing isn't working, then this is a great book to read to understand, you know, marketing in terms of your brand. He's big on founder story. So like your story, what got you in to do what you're doing, building a community. So marketing in your community and getting user generated content. And also just standard content for, you know, your social media, your website, and you know, your collateral that you've got that you're creating. But it's called Compound Marketing, and it is about you know, stacking and layering your marketing on top of each other so you get a cohesive marketing strategy. He comes from an entrepreneurial perspective. He did go to university, and I believe he did marketing at university. He discovered a whole lot more about marketing when he was actually running a business. So good book to read, and Dan has got a really sort of down-to-earth sort of tone about him when he speaks about you know, his concepts here, and he comes at it as an entrepreneur as opposed to a professional in some other sphere. So yeah, you can grab that on Kindle, on either Kindle audiobook or a paperback on Amazon, or just Google it. You'll probably find it on his website. Actually, his website just directs you straight through to Amazon as well too. Excellent. And that there is a roundup of our cool online tools for tonight. So tell us, what was your favorite? We've dropped them all into chat. I think, yep, it's the last one in chat. So which is the one that you think will take you down that rabbit hole of procrastination when you know you should be doing some work? You need to take your mind off it. And so this is the one that will take you down there. So let's drop into chat, which is your favorite. All these tools will drop into the Business Owners Smashing It Online Facebook group. So if you're not a member of that, then now's a good time to head over there. Don't leave here, just open in another tab, go and join the Business Owners Smashing It Online Facebook group, and we'll accept you in. And of course, a lot of the other apps and tools that we've profiled in previous sessions, they are all there as well too. So hopefully some of those tools are useful for you. If you do get confused about which tools you should be using for your business or could be using for your business, or which ones work in combination with each other, feel free to get in touch. We do have a number of programs to really help you with you know, selecting the sort of tools you want and how they all fit and work together. So best way to get in touch is just through smashgo.co. All right, well, fabulous. What do we got? What's our, the votes are coming in. Let's have a look. We've got Fly AGT, PhotoFuse, Fly AGT. Looks like, oh, and AutoHive. It's a bit close there. Either PhotoFuse or Fly AGT. I think there may be a number of people here changing their genders, sort of checking out how they can generate headshots to see what they would look like as their opposite. Very frightening. Thanks for introducing that, Tim. That was a good prompt.